Hey everyone, I'm Rob Franek. I'm editor-in-chief here at the Princeton Review. Friends, learning new vocabulary words is important for all sorts of reasons. A large vocabulary allows you to write and to speak more concisely and clearly, and you can always find the perfect word to convey what you mean, and you don't need to use 5 words when you have one that's just right. Why say something like walked slowly without purpose when you can capture all that with one word, ambled? There's no need to say anticipated and made unnecessary because you know the word obviated. You can say what you mean and mean what you say and always have the perfect word at the ready. A large vocabulary also turns out to be a huge asset on standardized tests like the SAT, the ACT, GRE, LSAT, GMAT, and many more. These exams directly or indirectly test your vocab knowledge, and a large vocabulary will also help you achieve success in school as well. You'll write better papers, you'll fare far better on exams, and above all else, a large vocabulary can make you a ridiculously fun and sought-after person to converse with and to generally be around. Friends, I'm not going to belabor this point any further, but that said, I think that we can all agree that there's a good thing going to build your lexicon. But how do you do it? The best way to do it is to make your vocabulary learning part of your everyday life, and there are 6 very specific ways that you could do just that. Number 1 on my list, if you're reading something and you see a word that you don't know, look it up then and there. And you're likely to find that once you know that word, you'll see that word cropping up in all sorts of places. So you're actually going to see more of the world when you know more words. It's a pretty exceptional phenomenon. And that said, just a quick housekeeping note, friends, if you're prepping for a standardized exam, don't stop in the middle of practicing to look up a word. Instead, practice what you'll do on exam day in the real test, according to your prep plan, and then look up any unfamiliar words when you have the review work in front of you. Second on my list, and while we're talking specifically about the subject of reading, read, and read some more. Friends, there is no better way to grow your vocabulary than to be a consumer of the written word. But what should you read? Many of my students ask me the same question. There's no right thing to read, friends. You can read any old thing. So if you're prepping for a standardized test, you can also find bibliographic information about the works that were excerpted in the passages on that specific exam. You can track down those original sources and read those. But beyond that, you should read material that is fun for you, and ideally something that's a little above your current reading level. That way you'll stay engaged and build your reading and vocabulary skills at the same time. But I want to emphasize the fun part. Folks, if you dread reading, you won't want to do it. But if you love what you're reading, you're going to keep going back. And the most important thing that you can do is to keep reading. Number 3 on our list. Practice saying words out loud. Online dictionaries will have an option for you to hear the word, or you can use the pronunciation guide, of course, in your dictionary. Once you learn a new word, incorporate it into your speech. Try to make a point of using each new word that you learn in a real world, everyday context. Number 4, if you're learning new words, keep a running list. Keep records of those new words in an app, on flashcards, in a notepad, and refer to that well of information periodically to make sure that you're keeping your new acquisitions in your regular rotation. Number 5 on our list, use your imagination and create mental images for new words. We have a whole video about mnemonic devices that can help you train your brain to acquire new knowledge. Check out that segment for specific tips on how to use visualizations to broaden your vocabulary. And folks, 6th and last on my list, look for common root words. If you've studied Latin, you will be especially good at this. It'll be super easy. But even if you haven't, you'll be able to do this. So here's an example. Think of words that start with the letters B, E, B-E-N-A, like benefit or benefactor or benediction. They're all positive words. That's because bene, I took Latin in high school, means well in Latin. Keep that in mind when you're inferring the meaning of an unfamiliar word based on its construction and context. And if you do, folks, those 6 things, you will certainly expand your vocabulary, and you'll probably have a ton of fun in the process as well. If you're a word nerd, and we love word nerds here at the Princeton Review, but if you're a word nerd and you love learning new vocabulary, then check out our vocabulary builder videos right here on our YouTube channel. And speaking of our YouTube channel, please subscribe if you haven't for much more intel on academics and exams, college admission, and of course test prep live streams as well. Again, folks, Rob Franek, Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review. Thanks, as always, for watching. See you here real soon.